Hello, today we will Dockerize our Next.js application. You need Docker application installed on your machine. If you don't have it, please check the video description on how to install it. If you have it, you can follow this tutorial. Let's create an example Next.js app. I will accept the default values. Let's wait for packages to be installed. Okay, now the project is ready. We can open VS Code. Let me make it full screen and zoom a bit for you to see better. Okay, this is nice. So the first thing we have to do is create our Dockerfile. I will explain every line, so don't worry. We start by specifying our base image. We will use Node.js Alpine because it is lightweight. Next, we create a new stage called depths that uses our base image. This stage is where we will handle our dependencies. We install libc6 compat package. This ensures compatibility with certain native modules we might need. We set the working directory to app. We copy package and package log.json to working directory. If you are using Yarn as your package manager, you should move yarn log.json rather than package log.json. We run npm ci to install our dependencies. This command ensures that we get an exact install as defined in package log.json. Now we create another stage called builder, again using our base image. We set the working directory to app. We copy the node modules directory from the depth stage to builder stage. We copy the rest of the application to the working directory. Now, you might be wondering, if we were going to copy everything anyway, why we have a different stage for installing the dependencies? This is because Docker caches each stage. If package.json and package.log.json files don't change, Docker will skip the first stage. This means that we don't have to install node modules every time we have to build our image. Let's finish builder stage with npm run build. Finally, we create a stage called runner. This stage is where our application will run in production. We set the working directory to app again. We set the node m to production. This ensures our app runs in production mode. We add a system group called Node.js with specific group ID. This helps with permissions and security. We add a system user called Next.js. This user will run our application. We copy the public directory from the builder stage. We create a .next directory. This will hold our Next.js build output. We change the ownership of the .next directory to the Next.js user and Node.js group. This ensures proper permissions. We copy the standalone folder from the builder stage, ensuring it's owned by the Next.js user. Now for this step to work properly, we have to configure our Next.js application. If you don't know what is the reason behind the standalone folder, you can check out my previous video about it. In next config.js file, we will change the output to standalone. Okay, now this step will work fine. We can continue with copying static folder from builder stage. We switch to Next.js user. This enhances security as we are not the root user anymore. We expose port 3000. This is the port our Next.js app will listen on. We set the port environment to 3000. This tells our app to listen on port 3000. Finally, we specify the command to run our app. We set the hostname to 4 zeros to accept connections from any network interface. And run nodeserver.js to start the server. This is it. This is our Docker file. But we need one more file, and it is Docker ignore. Think of the Docker ignore file as a way to tell Docker which files and directories it should ignore when building your image. So I have put some files and folders. This will ensure faster builder time. My Docker application is already working, so we can create our image and see if our Docker file works the way we expect it to. I will use the project name as the image name and add a latest tag. If this is the first time you are building your image, your build time might take a while since you don't have a Node Alpine image in your computer. But after the first build, if you don't update your packages, the build time will be faster. Okay, we created our image. We can see it in desktop application. Since we did a couple of optimizations, the image size is around 100 megabytes. Now we have the image ready. We can start our container. I will set my local 3000 port to containers 3000 since Next.js will run on that port. There is no waiting when you run your container. We can access our application right away. And we can successfully see Next.js application running on port 3000. If I go to my Docker application, click containers, select my container and stop the container from working, I see that our application stopped working. And this is it for you to Dockerize your Next.js application and deploy to cloud. If you like the video, please subscribe, and if you want to see how to deploy it to cloud, please leave a comment down below.